Hello.
Hi!
Hey. How's
Ooh, that was great.
everyone doing?
Do-do-do. Happy snack dance.
Happy snack dance. Snack dances are the best kinds of dances. I swear I exist. I'm just not in frame.
She's invisible.
I'm a ninja. I'm not a flipping ninja. Cause I'm a ninja.
Yo, so I apologize for my chewing on screen. I was just talking about this behind the scenes, but I made oatmeal muffins and I'm doing a happy snack dance, and they're really good.
Happy
They're
snack dance.
cinnamon raisin oatmeal muffins. Yo, if you guys want the recipe, I'll throw it in the comments or something. But
Yes.
Anyway.
Tell me, what sort of witchcraft and wizardry is this?
Hello.
Oh my god, my studio is a flippin' wreck right now. Because Gish, and then then there's like the standard Gish recovery of me going, what did I do? What happened? What just happened? And then and in the meantime, I've recently been muse stricken, inspired. So I just kind of casually shoved things aside to make room for some new art thing that I'm working on. And then, I was also scrambling last minute to get my costume ready for Savage Moon last weekend, which we had our first episode. It was really good. And I was able to get a costume up and running in a timely-ish manner.
Cool.
Yes. I for that show I made some cool shoulder armor out of EVA foam. I can't remember. I think I popped in to creating with the crew to kind of demo it a little bit. And that was cool. And then there's another thing. Oh, I ended up making my little sprite familiar, Fritz. He's like, yes, I think he might be descended from the same stock as the banana assassin. Less fruit, more vine.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Tell me about your game last night.
I was just gonna say I'm knitting, but I kind of was working on this during the game, and we had one person in our comments figure it out. There was oh nice. There was another murder. A lot of these demonic murders were happening, and but you can't have demonic possessions without murder. But there was a victim, and this particular victim was stabbed with something very long and pointy and tiny, like thin, and the wound was even smaller than like a rapier or a stiletto. And one person in the comments said, like a knitting needle.
Yeah.
And it certainly was. That was the murder weapon, was a knitting needle.
I was multitasking for the show during the show last night. Did they figure it out? The party figure it out? Does the audience assist there? Nice.
So the demon is body hopping.
Yeah.
So none of the actual murderers really did anything wrong.
Aw.
Yeah, but they figured it out. That was the important part.
Gotta feel bad for those poor people that are super,
especially the one that Klee knocked all her teeth out, and then she refuses to give them back because they're Klee's teeth now.
I saw that.
The bunny demon, because it hops from body to body.
Klee is awesome.
Klee might be one of my absolute favorite characters in a game just because she's so unpredictable.
What's not to love about a psychotic bird?
A very tiny psychotic bird, too. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't quite grokking how tiny Klee was. Okay, I can finally get to my laptop now.
Yay!
Hey, everyone. I'm here to read comments. Hey, Bill. Hey, Rev Tommy. Hey, Sir David Visual Sally. Hey! Y'all are here. Hey, what? Oh, my God. Yes, excellent question. Have you beaten? I heard a hint. I want to see. Can you see? Will you show? Is that too soon? Am I breaking a deal?
So I have beaten some good drums lately. I actually have a drum now for salami.
I know.
Like
you mentioned that.
Drum, I don't think, do I still have an image of it? I don't have it with me here today, but I have it. So like, I'm ready, man. I'm gonna deck it out. I gotta put some like ribbons on it. Get it all salami ready, but I'm planning on beating some good drums. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all I can say. But I'm saying I'm gonna do it.
I think I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Huh. Yeah, you're dancing to the beat.
I'm grooving to the movement of the moment now. I mean, I guess that could just be a regular sticker. So, this is one of my designs that I printed but didn't cut. So it's not going to be like a delicate outline like this is supposed to be. But maybe if it's just a big sticker.
Oh, I love it.
Know.
But
it's too big. Oh, I know what happened. Oh, but wait, there's more. Boom.
Hi.
Hi, gang.
Hello.
Hi.
We are doing stuff. I am trying to make room in my studio to continue to do stuff.
Yes. I realized I was, basically I have to complete one of these illustrations every day for the next 2 weeks. So I was sitting here watching videos, just listening to videos and pounding away. And I was like, wait, I could do this in company. Hi, everybody.
So. Absolutely.
Huh.
You have been cranking out some amazing artwork.
Thank you. I'm working hard.
Working hard. Okay, I'm moving the laptop so that I can finish doing the thing that I'm working on, and then
put me up on the big screen, and I will show everybody what I'm doing while you do that.
Already moved, but you still get big screen.
Hi. Hey, everybody! Long time no see. It's me, Madame Ansa, Lady Gaga, Baba Yaga. So what I am working on is I am making a Yuletide Monsters advent calendar. You flip open all the little windows and it will show you all the different monsters for all the different days of the holiday season, by which I mean the winter holidays. So approximately Yule. A bunch of them are traditional monsters like Santa Claus and Krampus and Perchta, things that we associate with that time, but I'm choosing to insert some of my favorites. So for example, I've got about half of them done. So you ready for some show and tell? So in New Orleans, as you may know, Santa Claus appears as Père Noël, Father Christmas. And because it's a friggin' swamp, instead of a sleigh, which would make no sense, just think of the horrible image of reindeer in a sleigh tanking into a swamp. He has a boat, either a pirogue or a shrimp boat, that is pulled by alligators, which are called rain gators. And they put it's the cutest thing. Google it up right now, anybody who's watching this. Rain gators, they have crabs on their heads so that they have little tiny antlers.
My gosh.
It's the cutest thing. So look at that. So little shrimp boat. So that's, an actual traditional monster if that's not like an amazing nightmare chimera of charm from the Yule holidays, I don't know what is. So that's one.
That's awesome.
I know. This one I just made thinking of Mab. Not a traditional holiday monster, but it's a jackalope.
Yay!
If you know our Mab, you know she's a cryptid queen. So
Well, I do jackalope rescue and rehabilitation, and I've got the hospice care going for Mr. Bun.
right,
So
right, exactly. So I was thinking of that guy. Some of these, again, some of them are traditional monsters associated with the Yuletide season. In this case, it's just a cryptid that I loved, and in those cases, I wanted to make sure that the cryptids were experiencing with wonder the joy of what is best about the winter holidays. So
he's about to knock that fall ornament off of the tree and then break it.
absolutely. I do realize, you see your art differently when you look at it through different eyes. This other one, while it looks kind of like it's a bulb of garlic, it's just a traditional ornament. Look, it was the clam. So there's garlic. Werewolf with a candy cane.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah. So these are scratch boards also.
You should put a note: do not stick in nose.
Yes, please. Would you like to tell them that story, ma'am, about why you don't do that?
I thought everybody knew that. I thought that was a common knowledge thing.
We learn things the hard way in Circus Town. This one that I'm working on right now, this is Saint Nick. Saint Nicholas became a saint. You got to do a series of miracles, and one of his is that someone had killed 3 children and pickled them to sell as meat. And Saint Nicholas came along and actually brought them back from the dead. That is part of why Saint Nick gives gifts to children, like not being dead.
That's a great gift.
Right? I mean, necromancy, it's the
Just
season.
gonna say.
He's like, you're not a pickle today, little guy.
The reason for the season is that ye shall not be seasoned. So I gotta make their little toes dangling off the ground so it's clear that they're like being levitated up out of the brine. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Levitating children.
I just love that, like, anybody who's like, don't forget the reason for the season. I'm like, your dude is literally a necromancer. Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, let's keep the good guys in Christmas. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, necromancy. I guess you're the good guy if you're not like enslaving the pickled children or whatever. But
yeah,
that's pretty freaking dark. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, whoever pickled them is kind of the big jerk in this situation. Let's be honest.
Right.
Sure. It gives a new meaning to the German tradition of hiding a pickle in a Christmas tree.
Oh!
Now that's extra German, isn't it?
You just enriched my life forever. Thank you. That means a
I
lot.
never made that connection.
Oh my gosh, I think new family tradition, guys. Everyone needs to hide 3 pickled children in the tree instead of 1 pickle.
I wanted to say hi to everybody out there. I haven't, since I've been on my family travels, and so far they haven't gotten to say hi to all the people. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I'm still a real person. I'm real, aren't I?
All right, let me show you what I got going on here before I move on to the next thing. So this is one of my dice trays. It's really hard to see it, but it's a metallic. It's a metallic, like a rose gold metallic on this side, and this side is a metallic silver. So I just acquired this heat transfer foil that I cut out, and this is like a green gold foil on both the front and the back. Like little bat designs, and now I'm gonna test to see how it looks when I heat transfer this shit.
Those are both heart chakra colors for people who care about that sort of thing.
Oh,
Yeah, like rose gold and springy green.
nice. And I liked the labyrinth motif too. I was enjoying that when I found that piece that I really liked. Okay, I'm gonna give this a shot and see how this goes, because it's the faux leather, so it's got a lot of synthetic content in it. So doing iron on synthetic content, it's no vinyl content in there.
I got you.
And then doing a heat iron on a so it may work, it may not. And I've never worked with this foil iron-on before, so I'm gonna flip it and then do it again.
Oh, hi. I am doing another scarf.
I was wondering.
Yeah, no, that was I'm looking at yeah. It's another scarf. I'm getting Christmas presents started. Everyone's doing that. You've got the Yuletide stuff going. I've got the Christmas presents going. So I'm gonna finish this one up. I have another one ready to go, but then I realized I have to get a baby blanket done as well.
So a pickled person cozy.
What was that?
A pickled person cozy, you know.
Pickled person, yes, for children.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I was like, Christmas gifts. I'm like, oh shoot, a baby blanket needs to. So I'm like, okay, deviate from the scarves, go this way, and then go back to the scarves. Like, it's just, that's gonna be fun.
Fitting it all in.
Knitting. I love how I'm like not making anything nerdy right now because like I just have the list. It's like looming over me at Christmas.
Babies are nerdy.
Babies.
Babies
Babies are nerdy.
Super nerdy.
Although I do want to make maybe next week I'll be working on it. I want to make a new tabard for LARPing.
Oh, that's pretty friggin' nerdy.
That's pretty nerdy. I'll be on the nerd train soon. I just
I think that like if your week is a bingo card, if tabard figures anywhere on your bingo card, you're like, whoop, your nerd stats just went way up. I mean that in the best way, of course.
Oh gosh, yeah.
With love.
So what I'm doing right now, like here's the drawing is the, you can sort of see the sheen of the, the graphite, the pencil. And so I'm using my little scrapey tool to cut away. This has been an amazing exercise for me in trying to figure out how to do various textures in this.
I was wondering how you were getting it so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Because either it's like this is basically like a line drawing, right? This one, it's not textural. It's like either you are a area of scratchboard black or an area where it has been removed. Whereas like on this one, it's more about like trying to create a sense of fabric folds or like the, like this one that I was just, this is my Gryla. She's the ogre who likes to, she's the mother of the bad Yule lads in Iceland. And she also likes to chop up children.
Look, I'm not going to say there's some kind of uncanny resemblance, uncomfortable resemblance to any non-ogre entity that we know.
Look, it's Kazoo, all right? It's Kazoo.
That profile shot is a little disconcerting with the nose there.
It's a little, this is a little wedgie two cheeks and a little Kazoo. But you can see here, like I was trying to learn to use the tools to be more, again, I'm going to say like sculptural, by which I mean a sense of creating depth and texture instead of like, black and white. So
like what you did to skirtlessness.
Thank you. I'm learning. Look, I put hearts on it because she's not all bad.
Somebody's got to chop up and eat those kids.
She's a good cook. I mean, she loves something. And look, there's a teddy bear there.
Oh no.
Right. And also I'm just like, you got to know that barrel is full of babies. So here it is.
Is it a pickle barrel?
Yeah, right. It loops right back to the old Saint Nick.
So now we know who pickled those kids, right? We talked about that.
Right. And yes, and it's true. You can't tell because it's a black and white illustration, but the room is full of pink mist. Clams! Behold, the clams is on deck.
Hey. So I was gonna make an afternoon cocktail. Would you like one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a Campari Fizz, and I'm gonna make her an Aperol Spritz. Would anybody out there in the internet like one while I'm at it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which one? Do you want something like Rudy and Strange, or do you and like raspberry-ish, or do you want something like orange liqueur and citrus?
I'm gonna go with the raspberry. That's
right,
my jam.
I think if you pour it in this hole here, this one, that hole on the side, I'm pretty sure it'll get to the
work. It'll totally work.
That's yes, please. I need to drink lots of afternoon cocktails while I use this chisel.
You'll be fine.
No lasting decisions will be made. Yeah, Bill says yes, please. They would like one.
Oh no.
You'll have to tell us which one, Bill.
Oh. You get
Um,
pressed again.
woo! Beat drum, yes. Hi, everybody.
This side came out pretty good.
Ooh.
All of the vinyl attached nicely. Which this one I thought was going to be the difficult one because it's got a lot of really tiny
That looks
details.
great.
But
Is it,
this side, the mace started coming up. Their labyrinth.
Is it a shield and like a shield boss situation?
Yeah, that's kind of. It was like a buckler sort of.
That's the word I'm looking
Or
for.
like,
Thank you.
I was also envisioning it to be like a lock. Like.
Ooh. Yep. Padlocky.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Sorry if the ice machine is loud here.
I'm going to press this a little bit longer. One more time.
So we got to see Mab the other day, but Pobo Gabobo, Dungeon Master Extraordinaire, and I have been on the road for a couple weeks with very limited internet access. So sorry to miss everybody. It's been eventful. I just realized I need to get a charger. Yeah, it's been. Okay, this isn't even my computer. I like found a computer and stole it. That's why we're just going to pour the cocktails on the side. Don't mind me while I look for a charger. Yeah, so we have been away, and we're just getting back to things like shipping and emails, and hopefully regular internet access, and being able to see my birds, all of which survived the 2 weeks we were gone.
Really?
Right? I know. I hate for that to sound like unusual, but you know, that's chicken life. Is the constant. Everyone is trying to eat them. But while we were gone, I visited other people's chickens and goats. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Goats, you say?
Goats, yes. What is What is
This is Clyde. Clyde was a featured part of our game. I didn't intend for him to be, but I mentioned on the very first episode of Oops All Treasures that the farmer that they encountered had a goat. And it was, what's the goat's name? Does the goat like carrots? Can we pet the goat? Can the goat come with us?
Never played D&D before? You know how it goes.
I should have known. So I just happened to have a screaming goat on my desk because why wouldn't you? And this has become Clyde.
That's great.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
NPC is now the most popular, member of the team. No one can remember the name of any of the treasures. It's really Oops, All Goat and Friends.
Oops, All Goat.
Right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I would totally show up to watch Oops, All Goats. I'm totally there for it.
I'm not going to lie.
Yep.
Same.
Yeah.
Hard. All right. Now I got both sides ironed on here. Looks really cool with one tiny exception. The carrier sheet seems to have left a little line in the leather, faux leather. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's weird. Huh.
Yeah. Because I tried pressing it again. See, it might be more noticeable on this side. Do you see the line there? Maybe people won't mind. Maybe I can try a burnishing tool. Nope, that's not working. I don't know. What are my options? Suggestions?
Ooh. I like that color.
So this is like a rose gold. This is the silver, green, or like green gold metallic. Except these lines. How do I get these lines out?
A damp rag and an iron.
This is actually fake leather.
Oh, okay. So if it was real leather, that probably would work.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it was real leather, I don't think it would have.
Yeah, crimped like that.
Line. That's what I was worried about. Like maybe try this.
I admire, Mab, your patience with the process of becoming familiar with new materials. You seem reasonably fearless when it comes to that.
Are you fucking kidding me? This sat on my desk for 3 months, 4 months, maybe 5.
That's
sat there.
patience, I guess.
I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna fuck this up. Don't fuck.
I have to
this
tell you, it started
Because-
pouring here again. It's pouring so much.
Really?
I mean, I'm amazed, knockety knock knock, that we didn't come home and find that Awesome Town is full of water. And Asheville, North Carolina, where I run my festival and where a bunch of my friends are, is fully underwater right now, like buildings underwater.
French Broad.
Yeah.
Overflowed. its
Yeah, the French
banks.
Broad has claimed when I used to live there, it was the 100-year flood was when it would break the banks. And now it's like, what is it? Flooded down there 3 times in the last 10 years. Global weirding, people. So, yeah, so it's like, I'm glad that Awesome Town North is on a hill. Because in fact, it was so wet when I got back. Clamwell was out for a walk, and I was like, perhaps I should come get you so you don't drown on your walk home. Like, fully monsoony, funky.
Mhm.
They were like, there's a flash flood warning. And I'm like, that's only a worry for people who are driving. Oh my God, I think I need someone to come get me.
Right. She was walking along the river, that mile, like, so it's fine.
You mean where the water is?
Yeah, the place
Up in its banks.
It was all of the streams running to it.
Yeah, so everything, coming to it. And we've biked down there when the river was underwater, and you're like, there's turtles swimming across the road and stuff. So super cute, but yeah, I didn't want Clamwell to be swept away.
They need me for some reason.
For Campari cocktails. Doing the
And love. And love.
Look, it matches the wallpaper.
Cheers.
All right, this one is for you both. This one is for you too, Bill. Ooh,
right.
Aperol Spritz cocktails are rising in popularity, Laura Score.
Yeah, they're delicious. That's why.
Right.
And I actually put a little bit of fresh ginger juice in these.
Yeah, I can tell it's good. Makes it feel like health food.
How do you get fresh ginger juice? You
I'm health
chop
conscious.
up some ginger and.
What'd you say, Mabo?
How do you get fresh ginger juice?
I put a piece of fresh ginger root through a garlic press.
That's what I was trying to visualize. Thank you.
Yeah. It may also taste a little bit like garlic.
Also a health food. See, like in this time, I managed to. I've added the light to the rocks in the burning circle around my bonfire here. I'm making progress.
Really beautiful.
Thank you. This one for some reason makes me think of Mab too. This one will be a wampus cat, which is a cryptid that is allegedly indigenous to like Appalachia. It's like a giant cougar, but it has 6 legs, 4 legs for running and 2 for fighting, is what the description says. Which makes you think that you're going to see it like rearing up, ready to box you. And they allegedly have like a spiky tail. The tail ended up looking like an artichoke because I could not even. So I'm kind of struggling with that one. Like, cats are my jam, but I'm not used to 6-legged cats.
And then the cougar feature is what made you think of me. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. What is it? Prickly on the outside, tender on the inside.
Yeah.
And this is the Jersey Devil, y'all, with the pilot presence.
It's great.
I have to say, in the Pine Barrens, source material on the Jersey Devil is the worst. Like, it's as if every person who ever thought they saw it was given bad rye and then a pencil to draw it. Like, it's the worst. So mine is has a little bit more structural integrity than the source illustration. Just gonna say. All right.
As someone who just went kayaking in the Pine Barrens this past weekend, it seems about right.
Did you really? How was that?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. We did kayak battle.
Ooh.
We brought foam swords and water guns, and we made like flails out of solo cups on rope.
Nice.
And we would like climb into each other's kayaks. We disturbed the peace is what we did. Poor people were trying to kayak, but just seeing like how much people in that area love to party, I can see why they would be drawing the Jersey Devil like that, because nobody was sober.
Gotcha.
It was down by Bat Stout, absolutely.
Seen through my solo cup goggles, that's what it looked at like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's a cool area. It's a cool area of the world down there. I had never really been there, but and we kept an eye out for the Jersey Devil, but I don't know if we would have seen him. How inebriated everyone was, but if we did, we had our cup flails.
You scared it away.
We scared it away. We had our foam swords. We were ready to go. At one of my events, we had a lake and we did a lecture on the history of steam in shipcraft, basically.
Okay. So someone stood on the dock with a loudspeaker and shouted out the history of steam and sail, and then everybody else got in either paddle boats, which were supposed, like the little foot boats, which were supposed to represent steamships, or canoes, and we had and we pelted each other with grapes and marshmallows.
That's awesome.
I fully boarded other people's boats, and then you're like, now I'm stuck in another person's boat, and they're on the other side. Someone rescue me.
Yeah.
I boarded your boat, but I did not have a plan.
Oh, funny. So the Jersey Devil
Universal says they have been canned through there several times. Correction, canoed.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, no, it's a really cool. I'd literally never been anywhere near there before. It was so cool.
And Sally said she's been capsized there in the the Jersey Barrens. Pray tell, friend.
Yeah, seriously, how many people make a little trek out to the Jersey Pine Barrens? That's pretty cool.
I didn't even know it was a place until I, found myself researching cryptid things, because, in order to do some research on all of this art.
It's cool. It's really not that far from Philly.
If you drive up and down 95 all the time, it's like you get a very distinct impression of New Jersey, and it doesn't include vast swaths of wilderness. So it's cool to know there's more to it. Canoe tips over and into the drink she goes. Gotcha.
Were you already in the drink before you went in the drink?
Oh, well said. In your cups before you went in the drink.
Yep.
Nat 21 Adventures definitely endorses safe alka boating. Make sure that you have your exit buddy. And so on. The thing about this particular medium is that it's really easy until it's hard. And then some of these I've been staring at for days because they're at that part where, and it's because the choices are fairly final, right? Like, oh yeah, I cut that part out. It's gone. It's not like, it's not like painting where I'll just do it again. So, there's a quality to it that, consequences. That's what I'm saying.
Consequences. Yep.
Tools with consequences. Yes. Amberly says alka boating, the new term.
Alka boating.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, on our trip, I got to do lots of paddle boarding, and that was awesome. On the ocean. Like I paddle boarded in the river near us, and that's cool. It's way better than just seeing, the river from the, traffic bridge or whatever. But being in the ocean was the bomb. It was really great. We did a couple of miles at a go at sea. I had a hilarious, chatty conversation with the lobsterman who was out in the ocean pulling pots, and he's like, look at you guys out here. Well, good for you. What is that thing anyway? Where are you guys from? It's like, you got to imagine this guy's been out here pulling lobster pots since 5 a.m. with nary a human to talk to. And then these weird nerds come paddling by middle of nowhere, it was really fun.
Weird nerds come paddling in.
Oh, you guys, where you from? That was really, it was a joy. Everyone
Oh,
thinks
sure.
of what does it say in the note here? Everyone thinks of North Jersey, not the Pinelands with farms, sand, forests, rivers, etc. Unfortunately, sober. Yeah, I'm glad to know there's more to Jersey. Paddle in and roll for initiative. Absolutely. Thank you, Red.
Here come the nerds paddling in.
Right?
So great.
Here comes the people with the solo cups and kayaks. Here comes the nerds in swan boats with water guns.
Mhm.
We got something for everybody. Hey, look, Mab's back.
Hey.
Mab's front.
Oh,
Sorry, that was
like it all, but
that was so sad. I'm sorry. So sorry.
it was great.
All
Never
right.
apologize for a dad joke. Be proud of those. You stick by them.
I'm so proud. I'm lame and I'm proud. All right. So this is the other part of the glamorous lifestyle of a shop monkey here is the packing things up and shipping things out. This
Yeah.
is unfortunately all of these labels have to be made by hand manually. So
I like your tiara.
thanks.
I just
Sometimes
registered it.
when I'm doing stuff that's just like, I like to wear a tiara.
You're always a princess.
I had my glasses on earlier. I'll put them back on so that I can be cool like you.
Yes, it is my dream always to be cool like you.
Ooh, that's me. And Bobo Gabobo. Somebody's just getting back. We are reprovisioning. Hey, look, it's the Metatron.
It's me. It's
I
me.
know. I am looking forward to the all barred party. It is going to be super duper awesome and mad fun and insane.
And insane. And insane is the phrase.
I mean, what do you really want?
Insane.
You want insane.
Yep.
I'm working on a small painting project today and some foam clay. Because I'll show you some drawings, some design I put together for a booking I've got in Charlottesville. It's an immersive environment with a bunch of characters. And we've decided to have ambassadors from transformation. And so we've got a lava guy.
Ooh.
And those are all going to be, the armor and the vest is all going to be, they're three-dimensional. I have some like foam that I've painted. And then he's a juggler and an aerialist. So he has to be able to like take the top bits off to not be in the way. And then this is Metamorphosis. She's going to be me. It's like a big starlit dress. And there's this headdress. It's actually two other faces and a big like dandelion poof that's coming. And the faces are actually already done. They're made out of clear warbler that have been like, it's really,
Clear.
I have them. Yeah, it's boop.
That's
So they're-
so
How
cool.
do you do that?
Two of
How
them.
do you work with that?
So it's a big sheet and you take I used a one of those like cosmetology school skulls that are like actually a silicone face. And then I covered mine in tin foil because the heat gun was beginning to crack the silicone or something. I don't even know. Maybe it's not silicone, but anyways, but that's, it allowed for this like crackly texture because of the tin foil that covered it. And so I have these two that are going to be made into this big headdress. So whenever I turn, there's going to be this opalescent mirrored face in the background. Yeah. So there's that. And then there's going to be a mycelia woman whose body painted to look like a magic mushroom, not the Amanita kind, but the blue brown kind. Which is going to be pretty cool. And then there's this other person who's going to be an opal. This is a shit sketch, but she's an aerialist, so she'll have an opalescent bodysuit on, and then I'm making her this like brown kind of vest trench coat situation, so that she'll look like a boulder opal. And I'm making her facial prosthetics. They're not really prosthetics, but they're these guys again, that are made with foam clay so that they're actually like flexible and lightweight. And I'm going to paint them opalescent so that they'll actually go onto her face.
Question.
Yes.
So I started, based on your inspirations, started working with that foam clay stuff.
Yep.
And I got a mold thing. I think it's a silicone mold, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to make these wings. But I pressed the clay into this thing to make these wings, and then and I think I ended up throwing them away. They were just so catastrophic. I wasn't able to get
shallow.
Yeah, it was pretty shallow. So I think there needs to be a minimum depth. So I used one of these faces,
I like the
and
faces.
then so then I pressed a big lump into the face, and it's just lost all detail.
Well, you have to also wait until they're dry to start pulling them from the
That was
mold.
my next question, is like, how long does it dry? It looks great in Sculpey. It actually looks way better. Yeah, you can see it.
They say that you're supposed to leave it for, it's dry-ish after about 2 hours, and it's paintable after 24 hours. I've definitely stretched that a little bit, like hurried it, but my experience is like, so this mold is like came from a Michaels. It's probably a 1/4 inch deep, and that's holding its shape pretty nicely, but you definitely cannot pull it out too soon. I still give it like 15 minutes of like thinking about what it's done, and then I'll pull it out. But then because I want it to dry in a curve, I actually put it over one of these to like dry into the shape. This is the other thing cool about that. It's not Warbla, it's something else, but it's it's something, but it's I did it the reverse on that same mold. So I put the plastic on top of the positive and melted it over it like a vacuum seal, and you can get it when it's hot, it actually glues to itself. So I like warmed it up, and now it's got this, you can make these like 3-dimensional shapey shapes with it. So anyways, it's just I would say you have to let it dry a little bit.
Next question. When you're applying it into the mold, let's say this was a deeper mold.
Yeah.
How do you leave some of it on the outside and then trim it later?
I don't, if I can help it, because that's a pain
I wasn't
in the ass.
able to get it nice and clean.
Well, it's not ever going to be like super, super clean, but I think the depth is going to help with that. Like these are not trimmed. This came right out of the mold.
Wow. That's really a lot cleaner than what I got.
But it's always going to be this kind of lumpy a little bit on the back because it does expand a little bit as it dries. That's another thing to remember. But like I could definitely, I've taken like a razor blade and gone in. It's just a pain in the ass because it actually doesn't cut like Sculpey does. It wants to tear kind of, this is weird. It wants to tear kind of like chicken tears. Like when it like has a
grain.
It has a grain. Yeah. So that's my advice. I got these new headphones and they're they're wonderful for like listening to sound and like doing sound editing. They're really excellent. But when I'm talking and I have them on, it's very disorienting because I think I'm drowning. I'm like, Can you hear me? So I've got to like take one off if I'm talking. I just bought them. A friend of mine, a colleague of mine, yelled at me for not having a professional level headphones. And I was like, yeah, all right, I know. And so I bought them, and they do make an enormous difference when you're doing pro sound. So Sennheiser, fancy headphones.
That reminds me, I have to see if my my Countryman mic works still. My like wearable danceable mic. Thank you for saying Sennheiser.
Oh yeah, I've got one too that I'm like, I should check on that. A friend of mine just did a gig and he showed me his mic is actually a Bluetooth connective instead of a radio connective. So it's kind of like a wireless guitar connection where it's got a 1/4-inch jack that plugs into the board, and then it Bluetooth connects to the to your specific mic that you're wearing. That's super low profile and USB rechargeable instead of AAA batteries. I was like,
nice.
oh man, that is the wave of the future. Why haven't we been using this forever?
Mic talk.
Who are we talking about? Hi, Bill. Sorry, I haven't been looking at the comments because I've been like handling.
And Johnny O Twitch is there too. I don't know if you heard me talk about chickens, Johnny, but when I think of them, I think of you. Not chickens as in how foam tears, but like actual live chickens.
I gotta tell you, the fresh ginger makes all the difference in this.
It's
It's
working.
like-
Ginger makes all the difference. In
Really
everything.
bright. There's like 3 drops of fresh ginger juice in this, and it's like, whew.
I have to say it's enough for me because I don't need
Yeah.
it to be too spicy.
Can we talk about how spicy is the new term for sexy? Like the kids are saying your spicy times. This is my spicy fiction. It's become the new.
Well, I'm still loving thirsty.
All right, yeah. I'm into it. I mean, I am, and I'm also okay with the terminology.
So Savage Moon, Mike Pistol is our DM, and he's great. He's never worked, on our show before, and he's
Wait,
like
are you
talking about
that you're a lot?
What? No.
Mav, you're a lot.
Yes.
You and the thirsty
I've been
gang.
told this so many times.
Your muchiness, as they say.
I'm too much apparently, and
Lean into the muchness.
right. He's like got all these pictures of these like Hero Forge Frenzetta style barbarian warriors, and he keeps flashing them up on the screen, and they're all like super cut with these like cute little treasure trails and everything, and I'm like, what's a thirsty nerd girl supposed to do? So I was like straight up objectifying, and I couldn't keep that cougar in. That cougar was on the loose. I was like, oh, I like, oh no, nope, it's out.
I saw some of that game and I was like, man, I don't know if this guy's done if he is DM'd for an all thirsty, all female, all unapologetic libido, all comedy crew before. I know this is a very serious adventure, but also meow, like it's gonna be like a adventure makeup party in no time.
One can hope.
Right? Finally, RPGs I understand.
That's the kind of LARP I'd go to. Just saying.
Deep down inside, let's all be real. Every one of these D&D games does end up in a thirsty pool of lecherous thoughts.
And sometimes more than that. Sometimes more than thoughts.
We had butt poetry and pink panties. So
I know. So I look up and there's Melissa wearing panties on her head, and
You got
like,
naked at the end of every episode of my Metatron seasons. Loon was constantly taking off their clothes.
You know, like, and we can laugh about it, but I have to say part of the reason systematically for that is that this particular group of people and the way this format's been set up makes space for that to be not just okay, but empowering and fun, and not like, oh, if you stick your chin out there as a, you know, as a sexy person or as a person with a risque sense of comedy, you're going to borrow trouble for yourself.
Right. It's a safe place to do stuff like that. For sure. For
you
sure.
know, and like, yeah, and you know, even when it gets turned around on, you know, and if you've got a male character or a male NPC or a male DM who's like, wow, I'm kind of in the hot seat right now, like, it's fun because it is nice. I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal in a world full of consenting adults, right? But the reality is it's mostly not safe for women in the world as it is, and so it's nice to have some space to practice, you know, like being able to be just, you know, lean into the joke and not having to modify your behavior or presentation and so forth. And yes, you know, Bill says we're adults and it's hilarious. Yes, and it's, you know, and again, and it's empowering, and that's the thing. You know, it's nice to be in a space where that kind of vibe can be witnessed and celebrated and just be fucking hilarious, and not like, oh, I don't know, because we live in a world of like never-ending onslaught where women have to take that shit all day long every day, and it's not fun and it's not funny.
Yeah.
So, honestly, there was a moment in my life where, I don't know, somewhere I heard something like, well, hold up a mirror to it, you know, reflect it back. And that kind of opened up my eyes. That moment I started doing parody objectification of men in a way where, you know, now further down the line, I'm like, oh man, that was probably a little on the rude side. But, and I acknowledge that it's gotten a little bit, you know, but, you know, it was funny. But I acknowledge that there are certain limitations and you know, considerations that need to be considered.
And Sally, you know, is chiming in to say that, you know, she's like, it's not done in an uncouth manner. You know, when we make these choices, they go with the character. It's furthering the arc and not just like,
right.
It's not being used as an opportunity to like actually abuse the dungeon master or push people into situations that they're uncomfortable with or whatever, but rather to just kind of get some air around the whole subject, I guess.
I like to think of them as
where I'm coming from.
I like to think of them as trustworthy spaces, not safe spaces.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a better word.
Yeah. Building trust and having a trustworthy space is more important to me than a safe space, because a trustworthy space means that you can be challenged or questioned, but you know that you are not endangered. Yes. You're like, it's not all a cushioned room where you'll slowly go crazy in the echo chamber of your own making. It is literally like there's room for diversity, there's room for disagreement, but you know you can trust and be trusted to treat other people like humans and be treated like a human.
Yeah.
And that I just really prefer that semantic structure.
I like it.
And
when I do events, that's what
like
I do.
It's a trustworthy space to explore something, and then like kind of, it's almost like workshopping behavior or ideas or comedy tools that you then can say like, all right, this how much of this can I use outside of this trustworthy space and have it still serve my goal, whether that's speaking truth to power, whether that's confronting somebody, or whether it's just finding the right amount of cheese to, you know, label into the situation, right? Whereas a safe space implies like neutered.
Yeah.
And
like literally like a warren, like a rabbit's warren, where you go and you hide in a safe space. You don't thrive there. To me, like that's my difference.
So Sally,
And what was your alternative, Carmel? What was it?
Trustworthy, or trusted space, trustworthy space.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely that's my impression, definitely what Nat 21 is trying to do. And
Absolutely.
there's so many conversations around like making, just the gaming world in general, less of a Gamergate misogynist shit show. So less of that and maybe more of something awesome. And when I, check on and I'm like, look at all these powerful people having a good time. And some of them are women and some of them are different colors and sizes and genders and orientations. And it's just working. It's like society should be like that. Instead of it being like, what? We're 5 guys with beards and a chick. What? Other people's voices are represented. You know what I mean?
I was just mentioning this to Ansa today about Audre Lorde wrote an essay about the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. And it's an essay about intersectional feminism, but it's specifically about diversity is our strength, differences are our strength. If we are striving for homogeneity, then it is the same as being oppressed by patriarchy. Like we are too different. We are too occupied worrying about each other, our differences dividing us, than being able to use those things, transform those things into strengths and opportunities. And that's the same thing that patriarchy does. It's divide and conquer. So you're too busy worrying about the people who are like slightly different from you than to worry about the larger oppressor. Yeah. So it's like a 4-page essay. It's really cool. I highly recommend everybody read it. Scathing.
You're not my real mom.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know where that came from.
I know Bill is saying gaming's supposed to be fun, no need for hate. That is absolutely, like, we're all here for the same reason, and that is to indulge our creativity and have a wonderful time and enjoy each other's company. And yeah, absolutely.
And slowly but surely build a better world.
Yes, for sure.
Like I've said, dismantle, start the revolution.
Yeah. We know what this channel is really about.
It's about the goat.
We know. It's all about the goats.
For sure. For sure.
Or as the really earnest goat says, meh.
So I don't have the opalescent paint yet that I need for this particular accessory. So I have to use the holographic makeup that I got from Wet n Wild a while back. Nice. For my base level until I get it. I'm like, I can't wait. I'm actually waiting to hear back from the client if the date's getting moved again. I'm not happy about that. That's a COVID problem for the performers. Constant reshuffling of dates and times.
And we needed your thing to not get moved right onto the Krampuslauf because
that's a different.
Oh, okay.
That's actually no, it is. You're right. It's there's a lot of factors that are making me antsy, but if it doesn't move, then I only have 2.5 weeks to like get everything finished for it. Including like aerialists' costumes that need to be sent to the aerialists so that they can actually rehearse in them. Like all this stuff. We're building a giant stag beetle with movable wings. We're building opal people. We're building lava people. Like there's all sorts of cool shit that's got to get done. But if I don't have to do it until December, then I'm going to reorganize my priorities. And I'd really like to know. So today is okay, just in case it doesn't move, you should really start on those like fiddly bits that take time and have to dry. And as Ansa may have mentioned to you, it has been monsooning here for 2 weeks. So nothing is getting dry anytime soon. all rain all the time.
So damp.
Did I ever tell you I used to live in a rainforest?
Yes.
Yeah, I lived in Fiji when I was 14 with my family, and it is a full-on. I lived in Suva. I mean, all of the islands are rainforests, but I lived in Suva, which is the capital of the large island, and it rains like every 2 to 3 hours for like 10 minutes. It's just like a downpour, and then the rest of the day it's 100 degrees, and you feel like you're in a sauna. It's super gross, and you shower 2 or 3 times a day. Like you go into the shower and you just like let water fall over you to get the sweat off of you, and then you don't bother with soap or anything like that. But it's really, really hot. It's really like, I am convinced that that's why island culture is so chill.
Because you can't move.
Can't move. Can't move. Cannot move. Same thing with New Orleans. It's so hot. It's so hot. It's so hot. You can
Also, malaria is a real slowing agent.
Yeah, malaria and dengue fever and yellow fever are all very serious slowing agents. But my mom would like wash her hair and then put it up off her neck, and then there was one time where she realized that her hair was moldy because of that. So she was having a nervous breakdown about it, and she came out into the living room and was like, "Does my hair look gray to you? Does it look gray? Smell my hair. Smell my hair right now." And I was like, "Oh, it's yeah, maybe we should take a shower." Oh my god, my hair is cold. I mean, it's still the trauma. The trauma is real of having a full-on sheet of gray. What is his name? Rattergast, the wizard.
Yep.
Who had drippings. Yeah, it was like that.
Mm.
It's certainly a way to live. Not a comfortable one for my genetics.
Makes my skin break out just thinking about it.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I'm from a cold, dry place.
Yeah.
I would like to go to there, please. Right now, the monsoon has stopped. It was monsooning.
Here too. It's now blue skies out.
Yeah. I heard there's a tornado warning or some junks.
Incompletely full of bullshit, he says, "Not bothering with soap is my specialty. Just ask my neighbors."
Nice.
Right
after the post about goats. That's great.
Goat soap. Don't bother with goat milk soap.
Don't bother with goat milk soap?
Just grab a goat and use it like a loofah.
Rub it on your head.
I
think a goat would be a great exfoliant.
Right?
I'd probably.
Goat friends, I am going to head out with Clyde.
Bye, Clyde.
Bye, Clyde.
But this has been a blast.
Bye, Ms. Koya. Good luck with your baby blanket of pickling evil.
Yeah, for the pickle babies.
For the pickle babies.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm making a mess. Thank you.
A cold, dry place. I didn't realize anyone resided in my heart. Oh, full of the one-liners today.
6, 4.
What's up for now?
Time's at 30 more minutes. All right, can I shamelessly self-promote for a moment?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I have a show. My Journey to the Kingdom of Hypnos is an immersive audio show that is opening at the Philadelphia Fringe Festival in September. Tickets are on sale now, and I'm going to probably do a secret season as a teaser before September 9th when it opens. So if you enjoy immersive audio, binaural audio, binaural, not diurnal, that's different. Binaural audio scapes and Greek mythology and underworld themes and my voice, then I highly recommend that you get a ticket or you follow me so that you can catch the secret season. I'm going to throw up a link, not throw up, but put up a link.
Can you clarify? This is a show that people can participate in without going to the Philadelphia Fringe Festival?
Absolutely, it is. So here's the link. It is an audio archive, but it is a one-on-one experience. So you put on headphones. Headphones are important, and you listen. And it actually the goddess of memory is addressing you, the listener, the entire time on this journey down into the underworld and the kingdom of sleep. So fight back oblivion with the goddess of memory by your side. So the link is in the chat to get tickets for the Philly Fringe. It opened at the Cleveland Fringe last month. And now we're moving on to the Philly Fringe. But like I said, follow me at Carmel Clavin and you'll #GlamourHobo and you'll be able to maybe participate in the secret season that I'm going to put out before then. But tickets are on sale. It's fortunate that's happening in Philly, so the crowd will be very kind and supportive. I love Philly personally,
Yeah,
and if I do a show there, this is the seed of a larger project. I've talked about it on this show before, but eventually it will have in-person components and it'll have visual components. Like it's meant to have a constellation of work around it, and so this is the first little seed full of potential. But
Your ace, as it were.
My what?
Your ace, as it were.
Yeah, my ace.
Seed.
So those are my ats and my hashtags. So you can find me all the places if you want to get some secret sauce in there. But I would love for you to listen to it, and I'd love to hear from you because it asks you questions, like specific questions that you need to answer for yourself and like to push the show along. And I always like hearing what people come up with. Like what is the food that you remembered? What is the car that you remembered? What is the trip that you remembered? What are the creatures that you saw in the dark? Like,
and they just say those answers out loud.
You don't have to. You can
Think about
while
it.
you're listening, you think about it and it pushes the story forward. But I'm saying if you get in touch with me, I want to know. So listen to the show, get in touch. I'm thinking about actually building a spot on my website for it where people can actually, because the show lives on my website in a secret spot. But I'm thinking of maybe creating some sort of online form or something where people can actually put in their responses that they want to share, and it'll actually aggregate either secretly or publicly so people can see what others
Oh, that's cool.
say.
That's cool. Yeah.
Mav is giving me the call me sign language. They're not going to throw batteries at me. They wouldn't waste it in the apocalypse we're heading towards. You need those batteries.
Right. Absolutely.
But yeah, I want to examine what comes next for the interactive part to keep people engaged. The world of immersive theater right now is a wild west. It's very strange because, especially for archived work, it feels very disconnected. You do it, you put it up, and then there's not a lot. There's like no party to go to. There's no place to go push it in person. There's no flyers to hand out. Like it's a really different world now with immersive work and digital work in general. So I want to examine and experiment with how to keep people engaged about a thing, even though it just exists passively. Yeah. Unlike something physical, like what Ansa's making and what you guys make, what Mab makes is like, those are like items that you can buy and hold. This is an item that exists. It was made, but like you don't hold it. You hold it in your brain. that you don't hold it in your hands. You can't put it on your fridge, you know, like what do you do with it? How do you continue to enjoy a thing? Or feel seen by it is the other part of that. So,
You know, I'd like to say something about that is interesting to me as a maker of things. You know, as you well know, Carmel, like between us as just two makers, we have more things than we could ever display. Right? Like the artwork that I have made in my life that is worth seeing could cover the walls without space. And then, of course, I, you know, inherited my mother's work when she passed. We have a kid who has drawn so many drawings in their life. You know, we could cover the entire city with the drawings that this very prolific young person has made. You know, it's like I struggle with being a person who's not supportive of consumer culture, but at the same time am a maker by, like, in my code, I'm a maker of things, but I don't want to be like, the only way I can live is if everyone buys more things. So I'm always caught, right? And here we are, like, all physically making things. Like, I have to make things. I tried to, you know, when I was in school, I was like, you know what? Nobody's ever going to make a living as an artist. I should do something else. And I started to go crazy because if I don't generate things that mean something to me with my hands, I lose it. I'm a maker. It's intrinsic to what I am. And in so in a world with too much stuff, where Americans are being buried alive under our consumer crap and our obsolescence and our sentimental attachments to things, I find myself paralyzed by my own things. And I think it's interesting that you're confronted with the reverse dilemma, which is that you have a thing that, like, it exists, yet it takes up no space, physical space. Like, how awesome is that? It's the answer to all our problems, except for how do you remember that you did it? How do you enjoy it? How do you continue to engage with it if it's not another damn thing to get off the goddamn coffee table?
Right.
Right? So sort of either end of the blade. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we can't all have like well-organized museum like homes like Mab.
Well, I mean, you got to think about, you know, experiences are still things, and, you know, live entertainment is an experience. So to say that it's not valid because you don't have something to stick on your coffee table is, you know, kind of silly, I think. But
well, I mean, it's not a matter of whether it's valid. Like, we know that Carmel's work is valid. We know that our performative work over the years, you know, was valid. It's just that, you know, it no longer exists. Carmel is building something that is, like, its very existence, it's self-archiving. Like, it exists right now, even if we're not looking at it.
Right.
It's real, isn't it?
It's real.
I really exist. I mean, you know, then there's like, oh, okay, CDs or digital copies that people could take on, you know, fun little items, like a cute little thumb drive that looks like a candle, which actually kind of sounds pretty cool.
It really is about how human beings continue to interact with things they value. Do you need it to be in your hands, or do you have the capacity? Are we continuing to build a capacity for memory? Which is actually what the show is about, strangely enough. So that you don't just consume something and then immediately move on to the next consumption item of, like, I'm totally guilty of this as well, of the, like, I watched a movie and then I was like, well, I'm still awake, so I guess I'll watch another movie. Like, I'll watch another 2-hour thing. It's only 2 hours to me, but it literally represents years of work, millions of dollars in the making. And I just, like, eat it like candy. So the idea of, like, what is the thing worth is, like, I think what I'm especially fighting is please remember that this is a thing. Please don't forget because I'm not in front of you talking about it. I want you to remember, but I am not the boss of everyone's capacity to remember or care. So it's harder. It feels hard for me to say, like, okay, so what is the, like, marketing of this? What is the publicity of this? Like, what am I doing constantly? And all that makes me feel disgusting. So it's not that it is disgusting. It just makes me feel disgusting that I'm the bod of the art baby that I made. Some people love doing those things and are good at it. I'm not. We've got some comments here. We have dealt with wastefulness and planned obsolescence in the consumer culture is that I try to research products I buy beforehand and only buy both what I need and what it's built to last. For example, all of my shoes are leather. I take good care of them and I have them resold when needed. I doubt I'll buy many more shoes in my lifetime. Yeah, we were just talking about the $10 boot problem this morning.
Yeah.
Buy yourself a bunch of $10 boots or buy yourself a pair of 400 boots. It's a cash flow problem.
There's the other side of the $10 boots is like, people in poverty situations can only afford the pair of $10 boots. So they may not be, buying the boots that'll last them forever, but they can't, they have no choice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not to say that it's like, well, why don't you just buy the better thing? Duh. It's just like, it's a resource management question. And in art, it is again a really interesting question right now. And musicians have been thinking about this for literally years. About like my show's $9. I chose 9 because it's an archived thing and because it's a magical number. And so $9 is not a barrier. Even me, who is a person of extremely modest means, is like, if I don't have $9 to give to somebody who made something, like I'm in a different kind of trouble. But like $9 is, less than lunch these days. So the question, So the question of, it's not about what is it worth, but it definitely is about like, what is access, who can get to it. I wanted to keep it a low number so that it's not a question of like, do you have $100 to go see Sleep No More, in New York City? All of that matters to me. I just think it's complicated. I'm not trying to shit on people who are.
No, you're right. It is very complicated, and I can't even begin to come up with concepts of. Yeah, I'm barely.
We've got
barely
40 minutes. Can't we fix, economic disparity and consumer culture?
Oh yeah, seriously. What I'm here to say is I did a show and I'm really proud of it and I want people to interact with it in a meaningful way, and it's and frankly it's the best I can do right now considering I'm not allowed to be in front of you physically. If I were allowed to be on tour physically doing things in live places in a safe way, that's what I would absolutely prefer to be doing.
In a safe way. Yeah.
But that's the question now is, what do we do in these circumstances? Yeah. And I don't want to do the dance of the Mask of the Red Death version of the world where we're like, well, we're all dying anyways, we might as well just do whatever we want until the comet arrives. I find that to be upsetting to me, like physically upsetting, as Ansa, my housemate, will tell you over the past few weeks. It's just been like, I am sad, I am grieving, I am upset. And it affects me physically.
It is a hard time. I did come up with the brilliant idea today of all unvaxxed individuals need to walk around with a stick that's got bells on it, wear rags, and then constantly say unclean, unclean, unclean.
Yeah.
Undead, undead, undead.
Well, no, unclean lepers. Oh, we lost Ansa. She laughed so hard. Look at that. All right, real quick.
No, she's managing. It's the Priest of Jazus, but also the Legion of Gnome. What? You know what though? What are they? Oh, there's the mayor.
I've returned.
There's the mayor. Ansa, what's the name of the not the Belschnickels, the something
Oh
with
yes,
giant
the
scissors.
Schnabelperchten.
Schnabelperchten. I'm saying if there was an outfit for the priests
Nice.
of Jazzus, that their giant beak
Yes.
heads. If you have an image of it to share,
I will find one. Actually, I'm gonna add one into this, so I'll show it in another moment. Ooh, look at Incompletely Full of Bullshit says, I think they should be forced to wear a red A, but instead of standing for adultery, it should stand for Thank you. I'm really struggling with this today, particularly because like it's come to my attention that some of the people that have been around me this whole time have chosen not to be vaccinated and chosen not to tell me because they knew I would mind. And you know, like they're right. I mind. You know, I'm all for personal.
Good guess, buddy.
The blargity blarg, but like I definitely want to be like, okay, we'll just cut a canal that separates, you know, like I don't know, say the bottom third of America, and they can have their own country, and I'd like to stay where I am, and they can go live their, you know, life without science. So anyway,
I have a lot of great friends in Florida, but I'm just thinking Florida would be a really easy cutoff for, you know,
will they all fit?
build that wall. Like,
right?
Ouch.
Will everyone fit in Florida that needs to go?
yeah, there's plenty of swampland there. It's great.
The alligators, the Christmas alligator has something to say about
This
that.
alligator and the springtime ball python.
Right. I have lots of hey, it's the guy that needs to get some Grand Saint
I
games.
know.
Oh yes.
I'm back and I'm not dead from dysentery, so
We literally just got back and literally
Too much Oregon Trail.
just
Yeah.
didn't die of dysentery.
that's for
so-
Paula Garbanzo, who did not die of dysentery.
Ever.
Dun, 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 dun.
Uh,
Congrats.
For Mab there. Yeah, bye. Go hydrate.
I'm gonna go pet this cat.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, not to go down that vaccination hole too far, but fuck those people. Some of us are trying to manage people with extremely compromised immune systems. Everybody else needs to get vaccinated for the people that can't. That's the whole thing. And also, this cat's hard at work in the office. They had so many after parties after Black Cat Appreciation Day yesterday. It's just
That's so funny. So Murder Beast, after you guys came to visit, was so exhausted. He was just like, okay, just do what you will. And then he slept for the next day. Magnus kept going, man, you really partied too hard this weekend, didn't you, buddy?
good. I'm so glad.
It was Black Cat Appreciation Day, so
Right? Or black-hearted cat in the case of all these little murderers.
That's right.
This cat is so hungover, he's just hanging right over.
Well, it's Halloween road score. He's always been a mellow boy.
Right? The world's
That's right.
most tightly wound cat.
When he's not picking fights with neighborhood animals or
he's completely made of jello.
Or
freaking
dragging
out.
birds into the house.
Oof.
Ooh, Johnny, so I saw one of my chickens come running by the door yesterday, and it clearly, you know, anytime anybody finds anything, when I'm talking about the birds, every time one finds something, the other chickens all chase it because they're like, you've got something. So the chicken is running and the other chickens are chasing it. And so it's trying to hork whatever it is down as fast as it can. And I thought it was a snake, which happens. I watched it noodle up the whole thing, but apparently Paulo said it was a giant skink.
Oh, yeah. They're very much like
No.
snakes.
I believe
Chick football, yes.
I believe Paulo said it was a giant
Skank. That's right, he did. He said it was a skank. And Carmel and I said, excuse me. Skank was the word he meant. It was, we experienced the wonders of wildlife thusly. Oh, I'm going to have to bring my tiny rooster on camera one of these days.
You're killing Rooster Boo.
I have a tiny rooster. It's the cutest. And when he crows, he goes. He's so tiny. Anyway, smell it. Yeah, we lost Clamwell. She had to go back into the getting things.
Oh, is it just us?
Yeah. So So what I do, here's a piece that I'm working on right now. How do I make myself big? Is it that?
Solo down by you. I'm away from my computer, so I can't.
This perhaps these are backwards. No, it doesn't. So what I do when I'm working on these are 4x4-inch panels, and I just move from one to the other, and sort of keep it rotating. So it took me 2 weeks to get to the part where suddenly I've been finishing one a day. You know what I mean? So these are what I've been working on during this time, and a little bit on this one, and a little bit. Oh, let me show you the Cthulhu one. Some of you might appreciate that. Cthulhu. There's Cthulhu having a cup of cocoa in their sexy bathrobe.
Aww.
Right? Super cute.
Bathrobe. That's not fair, Cthulhu.
Yeah.
How come you get the sexy bathrobe?
All right. Johnny O Twitch said one of yours got a yellow-tailed little copperhead and ate it. Ooh, the barred rock hen. Ooh, the snake slayer. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, isn't that the whole basilisk cockatrice business? Really, is like, the battle between snakes and chickens. Just roll the terrifying qualities of both into one thing. And thank you very much, Amberlay, about the cup of cocoa. That's one. Again, this is one of those things I want to say. It's when I try to describe, I feel that I don't quite have the right words yet. But the difference between just line work, which is what's happening here with the figure, and this, which is clearly sculpted in 3D, and trying to bring enough of that quality to each panel. Anyway, choices, people. Oh, yes. And snake, skank, they both swallow things. Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud. And they eat mice, too. Yes, they sure do. And I hate to say my chickens eat chicken. We don't encourage them to, but it does happen. Because nasty little carnivores. Exit solo layout. I'm actually going to go because it's 2.
Yep, I'm almost done. Let me do the peel real quick so that I can do the reveal.
Oh, yeah, I want to see the reveal. I'm going to stay for that.
Cool. Fuck yeah.
Ooh, look at that. Come
This
on
is awesome.
over. Hey, chum.
Hey, chum. Hey, chum.
You make zealotry look adorable. I mean,
this is just the base hat. I haven't decorated it or anything, but
is that one made of leather?
No, it's just a really
Just one of those.
The cheapest felt hats that I have.
Yeah, I've got a million.
These are the ones that I usually reserve for giveaways.
Yes, the kazoo.
The kazoo come to Jaws' hat. Yes.
Well, I was just thinking, given that you live with a person who makes really great leather hats, once you get it down, you should see if you can get somebody to make you a leather one of those.
Leather hats are very hot.
It's true. It's true. I was checking.
I actually have a gnome hat made out of leather. It's got ear flaps and it hangs down, and I believe Toot Sweet wore it once.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of which, for people who want, somebody said I'm both terrified and enthralled. Oh heck yeah. Carmel showed me somebody who's making masks that the loops actually have pointy ears that have wires, so you can make the ears do things. And I was like, oh hell yeah, if we're looking at a whole other year of having to wear masks because of those fucking a-holes, I would like to do it with pointy ears.
Okay.
Because they won't be able to see my angry fangs, so at least they'll be able to see my angry ears.
I actually want one of those masks that's got the.
Oh yeah, I'm all for it.
Mab, I was just thinking about seeing your hat, and I was like, that's on the first episode, that's one of those important things that's going to happen. Which your band, which neighborhood are you going to try to get sponsored by? Because the Priests of Jaws have some money backing, and but what about the Rambles there, where the Champions are there?
I know we got choices. I don't live in a vacuum though, so I'm not going to make that call.
You're not making any calls right now. I'm just saying maybe
High friends in low places.
These questions
Oh,
might
exactly.
be thrown about on the Discord channel.
Oh.
So, mhm.
Prepare for everyone to call you a traitor, is what they're saying. Oh, yes, thank you.
Thanks to Twitch, we choose to say whatever we want, and
Listen, I've been off the internets for weeks. I forget the rules.
Right. Just remember, not all A's are equal. But...
Not even wearing pants. Well, that looks amazing, Mabelo Jabelo.
I don't know how to thread.
Right? I believe it's called flossing, dear.
I know. We have to. I am super curious about Banana Assassin and the hammer, because that actually is gonna like spawn some problems. Whether either way it goes. So
Is
yeah,
it literally gonna spawn like hammer banana babies or banana hams or?
So there is another element that I want to bring forth.
What? I'm sorry. I can't
There's
hear
another.
Banana ham.
There's another thing I'm going to throw into the mix is my sprite familiar for Savage Moon
Yeah.
is a little on the psychotic side.
Yeah.
So probably would be an ally with the Banana Assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, on a different planet. I do love the idea of being able to look up at the moon and vice versa and go and like seeing a random giant fireball go off and be like, ooh. Well, I bet that was an awful lot of damage.
Like my magic phased out for a minute because of these solar flares. Lunar flares.
A lunar flare.
Right.
Lunar flares.
I heard that. There's no air between the. It's magic.
You don't know.
You don't know, man.
Yeah, so Savage World is a blast. I know it's like we're like coming up on time to go, but it is a blast. We've only had one session, and yeah, and we almost died. So
I got a chance to watch it, and I loved it, and it was great. It was great. I can't wait. Yee.
It was really wonderful that we could go do the family things that we needed to do and know that the magic could roll because everyone, the community and the actors and the game masters and everything were so great. We could literally go do all the other stuff. Thanks, gang. Not only did all my chickens survive, but the channel did too.
Yay!
yay!
All right, we're going to roll out,
Well,
which we've got, groceries to put away and things now that we're restocking the house. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for
Bye,
watching.
guys. Something about happy accidents. Oh, come on! I'm like on the other side of the room. All right, fine. Hold on. I'll get there. Just hold on a second. Let me just. Okay. Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week or the next show, which we have a lot of them. So check out our channel. See more stuff. Love you. Bye.